Okay, so today's video is very different because it's which movie is better or worse, and in this case we're taking a look at the two Rebel Moon movies, part one, The Child of Fire, and part two, The Scargiver. And if you see my review for both of them on YouTube, you know that I thought these movies were right. I didn't love them at all. But today I want to give a second chance for both of them. Starting out with the first one, then the second one, and then I'll think of which one is better or worse. The first one is I don't think it's very good. I'll start with the positives. Visually, it looks very good, but the best part about it is like the costumes and like the set pieces and the everything that you see in the movie looks incredible and it looks perfect. When the ships looks very good, the costumes they look amazing and they are very high budget and they were working on it. They were working what they were doing and I think it's very awesome. And like I'll get props on the action in the movie. There's sometimes well choreographed, though sometimes the slow motion is a little unnecessary. Um, and that honestly, the only character I really like about in the two movies, is Korra, who is the main protagonist of the movie. Because not only is because three reasons: she's the main character, and two, because she's the main character, she is the one that gets the most backstory and development throughout the movies. Because the other characters are kind of one dimensional to me. They don't do much for me. I don't care about them that much. Not even the villain, but by a screen. And three, she does still has some very awesome action sequences, and her fighting skills by Sofia Boutella is very well choreographed, and she does some good fighting. But the biggest problem with Rebel Moon Part One is that feel is very clearly similar to Star Wars. Like throughout watching it the second time today, I really was pointing out which one is very Star Wars-ish. And I know which one it is. The first one is the main villain and the guards, the troop. Let me say. The villain, the way the what he was wearing when he was introduced looks like the officers from like the Empire. You know what I'm talking about, like with the gray outfit and the hat. He looks way too similar. His costume looks too similar to the officer from Star Wars. And the red guard guards, I guess, looks like also like the ones from Star Wars. And the troopers clearly are supposed to be like the stormtroopers, like very much like the stormtroopers. And James looks very similar to the droid voiced by Tudyk from Rogue One, but except he's barely in the movie. Like he is like in the first movie, he is introduced as like getting attacked by a bunch of quote unquote stormtroopers, but then gets some interaction with one of the supporting characters, then shoots like one of the villains, minor villains. Then he leaves and is never seen again until the end, all geared up. And then the second movie, he is just spying on them and then has an interaction with Korra and has a very superhero-ish fight scene and the war and at the end, and then decides to join the fight for future installments if they could happen. Um, and there's, of course, there's a bar scene that leads to a very cool action scene. But again, the bar scene is something we see in every Star Wars movie, including The Mandalorian and a bunch of stuff. And The scene with the giant crow visually because of the sand reminds me a lot of the one from Force Awakens. Like I'm not even joking. It really reminds me of that. Um, and I just don't think like the characters, except for Crow, are not that careful. Not care, not it's not ones I care for that much. And Gunner's kind of a little similar to Han Solo. Is just for me, but yeah, that's the main biggest problem with Rebel Moon Part One. It's way too unoriginal and visually stunning, but original with forgettable characters. Rebel Moon Part 2 is a little better, but not a great movie. I had more fun with the movie though, because of the giant, big, long war scene, but at the same time, that war scene can sometimes get a little boring because of how long it is. But when Carl and Gunner are like the ship trying to destroy it, it's a pretty awesome scene, but the rest of it was but the James fight was something because he's now a superhero. Because if you've seen the tank scene, he's just flying as if he was Superman or something like that. I will give props for the open for like the first 15 minutes of it because at least we're trying to get more backstory to the supporting characters. It's with like starting off with Tidus, then like the lady has the cybernetic arm, the two lightsabers. They at least were trying to do more give more backstory to the characters, even to get to know them a little more. And I thought like some of the like the montages in the movie were pretty interesting. And Corin Gunner does have some good chemistry, so I'll give props to for Rebel Moon for being a little better. Though it's still not like a great movie because going it's like 50 minutes of like characters and preparing for war and telling backstories to being a gigantic war movie. So it feels odd. Um, but it still visually looks amazing. The whole plot about the princess getting killed by Korra, it's kind of confusing because the way she is killed is like having some sparklish all over her, which is very odd. And the person who says "kill her" is feeling remorse about her doing it, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like you're trying convincing Korra to murder Princess, but then after she did it, you're not fond of her and very angry at her. So it's very strange. Um. So to make things more simple, Child of Fire is a worse movie and Scavenger's a better movie, though they're not like great movies. If I were to rate them, I'll give Child of Fire a 5 out of 10 and Scavenger a 6 out of 10. If you want to go see them, go see if you want to. They're not like bad movies. They're just mediocre movies. Visually stunning, but very mediocre on original movies with bland characters. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2. So, yeah.